So, could you please
Talk.
share your experience
One,
with Ramesh and Maharaj?
one day, Ramesh was reading the Mountain Path magazine, and there he read an article by Gene Dunn on Maharaj, I am that. So he was very interested in it. So he said, this seems to be a very interesting person. And when he read the address, it was very near to our house. So he said to me, why don't you go and see him, how he is, and tell me. So I went to see Maharaj. Mullah Patan was there at that time. And I found Maharaj absolutely fantastic. So I came back and told Ramesh, he's absolutely fine, we must go to him. So now Ramesh is the last person to do any guru hopping. Once he has a guru, it goes to no one else. So he already had a guru. So he told me to go and ask Maharaj that he has a guru already, whether he could come and see Maharaj. Maharaj said, you can have 100 gurus, you are welcome to come here. So Ramesh, I told Ramesh that. And one day we went together to meet Maharaj.
And
Maharaj-
how was the meeting?
Meeting of Maharaj was sort of waiting for him. So when he came, he said, you have come.
Ah,
So that was how we came to know about Maharaj.
I think I heard actually he said you finally came or something. Did he say?
Yes, something like finally came.
Because I heard that
Yes.
he was waiting in that sense that he would come at some point.
Yes.
Great. And is there anything else at that time that you want to share with the
At
viewer?
that time,
Just in that kind of meeting, the first meeting.
most fun we went off where Ramesh was delighted to be with him.
Right from the beginning.
Yes, and he said we must come here every day.
Wow.
And the best part was we were so near to us, so we must come here every day. After that, Ramesh went back to his first guru and told him, I'm sorry, I am not coming back to you. I have taken another guru. I am going to him.
Okay.
So that guru was not very happy about it, but you couldn't help it.
Of course.
Because Ramesh believed in having only one guru and no one else. He did not believe in guru hopping at all. So he took over Maharaj as his own guru from that day onwards.
Wow.
So we started going to him. And then after some days, someone has not come. So Maharaj asked Ramesh, Mullah Patan was not there, whether he could do the interpretation. People used to come, and they used to talk in English, and Mullah Patan or somebody else would interpret it into Marathi. Maharaj would answer in Marathi, and he would interpret it to them in English. So there was an interpreter was needed. So Maharaj asked Ramesh whether he could do the interpretation. Ramesh was very happy to do it.
Of course.
And he was doing a very good job. In fact, many people thought he was the best, were very happy when he was doing the interpreting instead of somebody else. That was how it all came about.
So he was, as an interpreter, I understand he was in the morning, right?
Morning.
Yeah.
He used to go in the morning.
He was
In the evening, somebody else, Gayatri or somebody else would come.
yeah.
Even Mullah Patan sometimes. But Ramesh used to go there only in the mornings. Then
And do you recall any of the dialogue of Ramesh and Maharaj at that time, just right at the beginning? Do you have any recollection of
no,
how
I
they
don't
were-
have any
yeah.
recollection.
Uh,
But one day, towards the end of his life, Maharaj was not feeling very well. He had got So Ramesh was doing the interpreting at that time. Some people had come from Satara. So Maharaj said, I would like to have some rest, 20 minutes rest. So you answer them. Sort of gave him his position. So
and he was sitting also there, or he was lying down, or
no, he was sitting down.
sitting down. Maharaj was
Maharaj
there.
Was there on the upper level.
Yeah.
He was on the lower level. He didn't sit on the Maharaj's seat.
No, I know, but yeah, so
They were all sitting.
sitting.
So he said, you take over for 20 minutes. I'll come. Everybody was stunned and embarrassed also. They were embarrassed to ask him questions. Ramesh was embarrassed to answer, to talk to them because it was Maharaj who was talking. So after 20 Maharaj came and everyone was sitting quiet. He got quite annoyed. He said, "Why were you not talking?" Huh? I told, so that was the end of the matter that day. Then
And I remember I have heard from you before that Ramesh responded, well, there wasn't any nobody asked any question, right?
nobody asking me.
Yeah, so that's what Ramesh's response
Yes.
to Maharaj was
Yes.
at that time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody asked any questions.
Yeah.
So a week after that, after the talks, we were sitting down in Maharaj's room. Maharaj's small room below. Ramesh was there, I was there, and one gentleman, Mr. Iyer, was there. South Indian gentleman. We three were there. Maharaj was lying down, almost asleep. He was almost asleep. Then suddenly he says, "Why don't you speak?" He shouted in Marathi, of course. "Why don't you speak?" They were all stunned.
Wow.
So it was not just required, it was ordered to Ramesh to speak.
Right.
And it was Maharaj's grace that Ramesh started to speak. And it was Maharaj's grace that he became an international figure. People used to come from all over the world to hear Ramesh.
Of course.
Then, and the way it started also was fantastic.
Yeah, please.
Ramesh was not one person to say, "I'm speaking, come, come, come." He was as usual as at home. Then Ramesh's book was there in the Muktanand Ashram. Some people read that book and came over, used to come and meet him. That was the whole thing started initially. And then one
And I
day,
understand in that little bedroom that was
no, it
the-
was out in the drawing room at that time.
oh, in the living room, maybe.
Yeah, in the living room.
And like a few people, 2, 3, 4 people.
Yeah,
were
they used to come, but often, not daily, but just like that.
And they call at any time. They come sometimes. It wasn't a regular time. Or
No,
anything.
nothing, just casual. But that was how it all started. Then one gentleman, I forget his name, Henry something, he came from America. He was on his way to Burma. He had not got his visa to Burma, so he had to wait for a week here. So we went to Chetna Book House, read the books, Ramesh's book, and so they directed him to Ramesh. That was how he came to Ramesh. And they was talking, and they started talking to him about Advaita. And he was quite stunned. So he said, instead of 1 week, he stayed on for a month, talking to me. And then he said, before he went, and the second week or so, he said, I am in California, and everybody, all sorts of holy men, people come to California, and I meet so many of them, and so many of people are interested in spirituality, and they think they can afford to come here. So why don't you come there? I mean, where's the question of my coming there? I don't know anyone. So that I've never done this before. But because I'm so keen that you come there, I will arrange this first time in my life. I will buy you a ticket. You come there. I will arrange the program, and then you can go back. Will you do that? 1 year later, huh? Give me 1 year to do that. And I said, fine, So he went to India and got a ticket 1 year later. Normally they don't give a ticket like that. But in this case they gave a ticket, they did 1 year later. And that was how Ramesh went to the States. Thanks to this Henry. Once he was there in the States, it was doing very well. It was quite a hit. Quite a few people came. But that man was not used to so he lost a lot of money in that.
I see.
So that was for all practical purposes, that was the end. But then one, Wayne Lickerman, so they were so much attracted. Said, we must do in future. So they started arranging his coming there after that. So he was in charge of the tours, and Wayne Lickerman.
So before that, he went to United States 2 times, 2 years.
Yes.
And then after that, Wayne
Yes.
started organizing
Yes. Not two, once only.
once only. Okay. Okay.
After that, Wayne started organizing.
Okay. Got you.
That was an yearly affair.
Okay.
He was there for 3 months. Then he would go to New York and then sometime to Germany.
I see.
But that was how it all started. Wayne took over after that. But then it was too much of a strain for him, going there, coming back. And once when he was in there, his eldest son, he died, Ajit, when he was there. So that was also quite a shock. And he was strained. So after that, he stopped going there.
I see.
But he was at home. He started giving talks at home.
I see.
7:30 to 10 or 8:30 to 11 or something like that.
Yeah. 9:30.
9. So he started giving his talks at home,
Right.
and people started coming. And then it became a regular affair, and it shortly, by word of mouth, his fame spread so much. People from all over the world started coming. Some of them used to come just to hear his talks for 2 weeks and go back.
Right.
Many would come here for 2 weeks and then go around touring the country.
That's true.
Came to visit India, but before that they would come to his talk. But in any case, more than a few thousand people came over to me for his talks in the course of some years. Fortunately, I was staying next door, so I could have meet all those people, and it was a regular United Nations gathering.
Right.
Absolutely united people from literally all over the world, Europe and Australia, even Vietnam. Some people came. Then towards the end, so many people from Russia started coming. The regular United Nations gathering.
Great. So we're going to do a second part to this, and I forgot to introduce you. Of course, everybody knows you. This is Chetan Balsekar, Ramesh's dear brother, who helped with lots of editing of his earlier books and later books, which are total 30 books for and but we're going to continue this kind of interview, but we have already 12 minutes, so we're going to do it segment by segment. Thank you, Chetan, and we'll be back soon.
Welcome.